Welcome to our devotions for Wednesday morning in the second week of Easter. A day that we are all able to gladly say that we are still here, and the opportunities for growth and for becoming still exists. As we come into this devotion time, I want to invite you to bring all of yourself with you. Bring all your concerns, all the things that have been running around in your mind, causing you disturbances. Just bring it all and just have it before you. And during the course of this devotion to recognize that this is all in your mind, that it is your mind that is wreaking havoc in your world. And to be able to understand that you are not your mind. Your mind is separate. There's a distinction between you and your mind. But so oftentimes we get lost in our mind and our thoughts, and we think that we are our thoughts. And we aren't. We have thoughts. So I want us today to pay special attention to the idea that we are having thoughts. The thoughts cannot possess me because I am the creator. I am the one creating the thoughts. And so I can also choose to create other thoughts or no thoughts at all. It is within my power to create. So we come into this space and we perceive ourselves as creators whose task it is to join the ultimate creator in creating something beautiful, something that we can say is good. So being aware that we have thoughts and that we are distinct from our thoughts, I want us to embrace this knowing and bring ourselves into a space where we acknowledge the thoughts at a distance. but we are fully present to ourselves in this moment. We are very conscious of everything about ourselves. We know ourselves to exist as an entity, as an energy, which is not the energy of our thoughts, but the energy of existence, substance. So I want us to breathe into that awareness with a sense of gratitude. Breathe into that awareness of the I that I am. And allowing myself to perceive that I amness. That awareness of this self that I am. This self that is like no other self. This self that is unique. So I go into this devotion just being aware of this self. Realizing that the thoughts are somewhere in the outskirts. And I invite the all that is, the divine, the Holy One, to come close and to engage me as self. Not as self with all those thoughts that I have, but just me as self. So we turn now to our reading. Jesus said, I ask not only on behalf of these, but also on behalf of those who will believe in me through their word. That they may all be one. As you, Father, are in me and I am in you, may they also be in us, so that the world may believe that you sent me. The glory that you have given me, I have given them, so that they may be one as we are one, I in them and you in me, that they may become completely one, so that the world may know that you have sent me and have loved them even as you have loved me. Father, I desire that those also whom you have given me may be with me where I am, to see my glory, which you have given me because you loved me before the foundation of the world. Righteous Father, the world does not know you, but I know you, and these know that you are the one that sent me. I made your name known to them, and I will make it known, so that the love with which you have loved me may be in them, and I in them. I think this is probably one of the most beautiful passages in Scripture. This high priestly prayer of John 17, in which Jesus speaks from such a vulnerable place. He speaks so much about the love that he has showered upon his disciples. And the intent is that they come to know that love, that they come to experience that depth of love. A love which does not originate in Jesus, but a love that comes out of the Father himself. A love that is so connected to the glorious, the beautiful, the wonderful. A love that is about oneness. And sometimes we speak of being one, but oftentimes when we speak of one, we are more accurately speaking of sameness and not oneness. One gets the sense that Jesus loved his disciples just as they were. He shared with them, he guided them, but he loved them. He loved them into their fullness. He loved them in ways that enabled them to be their true self, whatever self that was to be manifested in this world at that time. And he attributes that to the fact that he has had such great love from the Father. He's had such love from the Father that he is by duty bound to share that love with others. He has to. It isn't a choice. It isn't something that you can decide to do or not to do. It's just automatic that you love. And Jesus loved. He loved as the Father loved, because that's the only love he knew. So this morning, as we reflect on our own journeys, and yes, we have learnt all types of what we call love, and many of them really aren't anywhere near where we are talking about this morning with respect to the love of the Father and the love of Jesus. Many have had such tremendous difficulties around this whole issue of love. Many have been so disappointed. Many have been so hurt, so abused, that in many ways we have difficulty in hearing the word, because what we have come to know by that word really is not the kind of thing that you want to embrace. But this has been your journey, and as challenging as it has been, it is your journey because you're being invited in a special way to rise above that false understanding and to truly discern first with yourself what love is. Because in reality, that distress that you might have experienced might very well be because of your own misunderstanding of love. But what you considered was love wasn't really love. It seemed that way. It seemed to have all the characteristics, the external characteristics. But it wasn't love. And that may be true because that is the way we have learned love. The external characteristics. We have not learned love from the core. Few of us have learned love from the core. Love begins at the core, and by core I mean the soul level, at the level of the soul. And it spreads out into this experience. But so many of us are not even conscious of the presence of the soul. We just know the exterior. And so our love begins at the exterior. What I want this person to do for me. How I want this person because of that or this or some other thing. How this person makes me feel, etc., etc. All external stuff. The love that we are speaking of here is the soul level love, where one can experience oneness first with God, because that's where love starts. That's the only love that we can really bring out and really derive the benefit from it. The love that comes out of the experience of oneness with God. We hear it in the story of Jesus, the River Jordan. This is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased. There, at the beginning of Jesus' ministry, the testimony of divine love, grounded in his inner being. You and I, we need to make great effort to really embrace, discover, and to connect with that soul level, that essence of who we are. Reaching deep within ourselves and finding that true self and allowing ourselves to experience it being loved by God and have a sense of what that is like. And then having that experience of love, then we know what love is. Paul gives us a taste in 1 Corinthians 13. And so oftentimes, if we look at our love, it doesn't come anywhere near 1 Corinthians 13. It's boastful, it's envious, it's jealous, it wants to possess, it wants to insist on its own right, it wants to make others wrong. But the divine love, the level at the level of the soul, is without these things. It is simply about becoming one. Allowing the other to be the other. This is my beloved Son. The Father allowing the Son to be who he is to the fullness. When we discover this kind of love, we first of all allow ourselves to be who we are in God. And then it flows out from there. It flows out into the universe, into our every reaction with the world. That is why In Jesus' high priestly prayer, he speaks so much of the desire that the disciples be one, that they discover this love, that they understand that this is really the purpose, this coming back into that oneness. He wants them to be with him so that they can see his glory. And what is his glory? His glory is being within the Father. That ultimate connection. And he wants them to be within his presence and to share in his glory, to come up higher. So this day, as you go about your work, just remember the love that we are really all after is not found outside of us. It's found within. That's where it starts. And once we've found it, then it branches out into all the world without reserve, because it needs nothing. It requires nothing. It simply is, and that's all. May the good Lord assist us in discovering this love within, so that we too may share with Jesus in his kingdom